Dear students, now we begin with chapter number 15, Biodiversity and its conservation. Greek word bios means life and diversity means form. Biodiversity can be defined as the vast arrangement of species of microorganisms, algae, fungi, plants, and animals occurring on Earth, either in terrestrial or aquatic habitat, and the ecological complexes of which they are a part. Repeating definition: bios means life, diversity means form. Biodiversity can be defined as the vast arrangement of species of microorganisms, algae, fungi, plants, and animals occurring on the earth, either in terrestrial or in aquatic habitat, and the ecological complexes of which they are a part. For humans, the rich variety of living organisms with which they share this planet never ceases to astonish and fascinate us. The common man could find it hard to believe that there are more than 20,000 species of ant, 3 lakh species of beetles, 28,000 species of fishes, and nearly 20,000 species of orchid. Ecologists and evolutionary biologists have been trying to understand the significance of such variety of organisms. Biodiversity. In our biosphere, immense biodiversity or heterogeneity exists not only at the level of species but at the all level of biological organization. It means ranging from macromolecule within the cell to biome. Biodiversity is the term popularized by the sociobiologist Edward Wilson to describe the combined diversity at all the level of biological organization. Biodiversity can be defined into 3 forms. First is genetic diversity. Genetic diversity is related to various genes of different species. The variation may be in different variant of same gene alleles, in entire genes, or in chromosome. Repeating, the variation may be in variant of same gene called alleles. Alleles means gene for a contrasting character. The entire gene or in chromosomal structure. On account of genetic differences, all the individuals of same species become different from one another in details of the body structure, giving rise to multiple intraspecific categories such as subspecies, varieties, races, strains, morphotypes, and ecotypes. The genetic variation shown by the medicinal plant Rafflesia vomitoria growing in different Himalayan ranges might be in terms of potency and concentration of active chemical. Name of chemical is reserpine that the plant produces. Means Rafflesia vomitoria. It is a plant which is found in Himalayan region. It produces an active chemical reserpine. India has more than 50,000 genetically different strains of rice and 1,000 varieties of mangoes. Second is species diversity. Variation in number of species, kinds of species, as well as the number of individual per species lead to greater diversity. The diversity at species level is, for example, Western Ghat have a greater amphibian species diversity than the Eastern Ghat in India. So according to habitat, the species diversity changes. Third, ecological diversity. It is related to the different types of ecosystem. At the ecosystem level, India, for example, with its desert, rainforest, mangrove, coral reef, wetland estuaries, and alpine meadows, has a greater ecosystem diversity than a Scandinavian country like Norway. What is Scandinavian country? It includes Norway, France, Italy, Sweden, and Denmark country, which are situated near the seashore. So three types of biodiversity are found. First is genetic, second is species, and third is ecological diversity. Biodiversity and its conservation are now vital environmental issues of international concern as more and more people around the world begin to realize the critical importance of biodiversity for our survival and well-being in this planet. How many species are there on earth and how many in India? Since there are published record of all species discovered and named, we know how many species in all have been recorded so far. But it is not easy to answer the question of how many species exist there on this earth. According to IUCN, full form is International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. The total number of plant, and animal species described so far is slightly more than 1.5 million. So according to IUCN, total number of plant and species described are 1.5 million. But we have no clear idea of how many species are yet to be discovered and described. Richness. Biologists make a statistical comparison of the temperate tropical species richness of an exhaustively studied group of insect and outside this ratio of other group of animal and plant to come up with a gross estimate of the total number of species are on this earth. Some estimate that total number of plant and animal species range from 20 to 50 million. But a more conservative and scientifically sound estimate made by Robert May places the global species diversity at about 7 million. So according to scientists May, the total number of global species is about 7 million. Now, let us look an interesting aspect about Earth biodiversity based on the currently available species inventors. More than 70% of all species recorded are animals, while plants, including algae, fungi, bryophyte, gymnosperm, and angiosperm, comprise no more than 22% of total. It means 70% species are of animal and 22% species are of plant. Among animal, insect are most rich species and they make 70% of the total. That means out of every 10 animal on this planet are 7 insects. The number of fungi species in the world is more than combined total species of fishes, amphibian, reptile and mammal. So among animal, insect form the largest group, and among plant, the fungi form the largest group. It should be noted that these estimates do not give any figure of prokaryote. Biologists are not sure about how many prokaryote species there might be. The problem of the difficulty in the study of prokaryote is that conventional taxonomic methods are not suitable for the study of prokaryote and they are simply not culturable under laboratory condition. So why this data does not include prokaryote? First reason is that there are no conventional taxonomic method to study the prokaryote. And second is they cannot be cultured under laboratory condition. If we accept biochemical or molecular criteria for describing species of prokaryote, then their diversity alone might run into millions. So, what criteria is employed to study the prokaryote? It is biochemical or molecular criteria. Although India has 2.4% of the world's land area, its share of the global species diversity in an impressive 8.1%. That is what makes our country one of the 12 mega diversity countries of the world. So India has 12th rank in the mega diversity countries of the world. Nearly 45,000 species of plant and twice the species of animals have been recorded in India. How many species are actually there waiting to be described and named? If we accept scientists' May's global estimate, only 22% of total species have been recorded so far. So according to scientist Mays, we are able to discover only 22% of total species. Applying this proportion to India diversity figure, we estimate that there are probably more than 1 lakh plant species and more than 3 lakh animal species yet to be discovered and described. Consider the immense trained manpower, taxonomists, and the time required to complete this job. The situation appears more hopeless than we realize that a large fraction of these species faces the threat of becoming extinct even we discover them. Nature's biological library is burning even before we catalog the title of all the books stocked here. Pattern of biological diversity. There are two patterns of biological diversity. One is latitudinal gradient and second is species area relationship. The diversity of plant and animal is not uniform throughout the world, but it shows uneven distribution. For many groups of plants and animals, there are interesting patterns in diversity. The most well known being the latitudinal gradient in diversity. In general, species diversity decreases as we move away from equator towards the pole. With very few exceptions, tropics harbor more species than temperate or polar region. Colombia, located near the equator, has species 14,000 of birds, while New York at an 41 degree N has 105 species and Greenland at 71 degree N has only 56 species. It means as we move away from equator, number of species decreases. India, with much of its land area in tropical latitude, has more than 1200 species of birds. A forest in a tropical region like Ecuador has up to 10 times as many species of vascular plant as a forest of equal area in temperate region like the Midwest of USA. The largely tropical Amazonian rainforest in South America has the greatest biodiversity on earth. It is the home of more than 40,000 species of plant, 3,000 species of fishes, 1,300 species of birds, 427 of mammal, 427 of amphibian, 378 of reptile, and more than 125,000 species of invertebrate. Scientists estimate that in these rainforests there might be at least 2 million insect species waiting to be discovered and named. Ecologists and evolutionary biologists have proposed various hypotheses. Some important ones are speciation is generally a function of time. Unlike temperate region subjected to frequent glaciation in past, tropical latitude have remained relatively undisturbed for millions of years and thus had a long evolutionary time for species diversification. Second, tropical environment like temperature ones are less seasonal, relatively more constant and predictable. Such constant environment promote niche specialization and lead to a greater species diversity. C. There is more solar energy available in tropic which contribute to higher productivity. Thus in turn might contribute indirectly to greater diversity. So these are the three reasons that why so special about tropics and temperate region. Why tropic region has their greater biological diversity. Second is species area relationship. During his pioneer and extensive exploration in the wilderness of South American jungles, the great German naturalist and geographer Alexander von Humboldt observed that within a region, species richness increases with increased explored area. If we explore more area, we will find more species, but it is up to a certain limit. So Humboldt said that if we increase the explored area, species richness increases, but only up to a certain limit. In fact, the relation between species richness and area for a wide variety of taxa, angiosperm plant, bird, bat, freshwater fishes turned out to be a rectangular hyperbola. So relation between species richness and area explored for which organism, angiosperm plant, bird, bat and freshwater fishes, it turns to be a rectangular hyperbola. On a logarithmic scale, the relationship is a straight line described by the equation log S is equal to log C plus Z log A, where S is species richness, A is area explored, and Z is the line of slope. Now, C is intercept. Ecologists have described that the value of Z lies in the range of 0.1 to 0.2 regardless of the taxonomic group of the region. Where it is in the plants in Britain, birds in California, or mollusks in New York State, the slope of regression line are amazingly similar. Excuse me. But if you analyze the species area relationship among very large area, the entire continent, you will find that the slope of line to be much steeper, Z value in the range of 0.6 to 1.2. For example, frugivorous, fruit-eating, birds and mammals in tropical forest for different continents, the slope is found to be 1.15. It means if we find the organism in a small taxonomic group, the value of Z is 0.1 to 0.2. But if we analyze the species area relationship in a large area, value is 0.6 to 1.2. And for fruit-eating bird and mammal, the value is 1.50. Now, look at the board. S is equal to CAZ. If we take log of this, log S is equal to log CAZ. If we open the bracket, log S is equal to log C plus log AZ. So log S is equal to log C plus Z log A. This is the value. Log S is equal to log C plus Z log A.